The Cal faithful pouring out to Berkeley on a Saturday afternoon bathed in brilliant sunshine. And for the first time, Justin Wilcox makes a walk into Memorial Stadium as the head coach of the California Golden Bears. Being welcomed by signs in the stadium, it is the California Golden Bears home opener presented by Opus Bank today as Cal, for the first time ever, plays Weber State in football.
Knows the feeling and the things you have to know in the conference, and then to go on the road and get that win, to be able to come to his first home game with a road win under his belt and a good one against North Carolina. Things are starting to really look up at Cal, it seems, very short order.
Well, we'll learn more today about the staff that Justin has accumulated, a terrific assistant coaching staff, and it all paid off last week when a new Cal quarterback got his first start, and the Bears get that road win.
Yeah, Ross Bowers, he's been on the bench for 2 years behind a couple of great quarterbacks, but this is a new system. He came out, there was pressure, they got behind, both offense and defense responded. You can see the numbers there, but if you're the coaching staff, a lot of things they can improve on. Specifically, Ross Bowers can improve on a lot of things, and that he's going to have to do if they want to compete in the Pac-12, and they can start doing that today against the Weber State Wildcats.
Now, Ross Bowers, who showed a lot last week, showed a lot of the qualities that earned him the job. He was tough. He took a tough hit in the first quarter of that game, a hit that wound up seeing the North Carolina defender ejected. Very next play, throws a touchdown pass.
Yeah, he showed that poise, and I think this whole team showed a lot of poise. They got down on the road and were able to come back and fight through it and get that big win.
All right, so Cal's home opener today is against Weber State. It is the team, obviously, from FCS. But this is a guy with some good pedigree. Jay Hill spent a long time coaching with Kyle Whittingham at Utah before he took the Weber State job.
That's right. He's a Utah guy. And matter of fact, he's a Ron McBride guy, as am I. And these guys, the Utah, they have that thing about them and the way they coach and what they expect from their team, their players. This will be a hard-nosed Weber State team. We don't know how good they're going to be and how much they're going to compete, but they will not quit on the field.
And that is the big unknown today that we're going to find out over the next 3 hours as Weber State will kick off here. You see Weber State wearing basically all white jerseys. Ashton Davis coming back with this kickoff for California to start the game, and he almost had a real lane. He got clipped down low, cost him to lose his balance and fall forward. Nonetheless, a very good drive start for California. Ross Bowers, he is a sophomore, did spend a redshirt year here as well, from Bothell, Washington. He has two very experienced, in fact, a lot of experience around him on offense. Two experienced running backs in Trey Watson and Vic Enweri. This will be Trey Watson who gets the first carry, runs it straight out almost to the 40. And the wide receiving core, which has been used a lot here, Glenn, the way Cal threw the ball the last couple of years. Again, experienced.
Experienced, they've got some explosion, they got speed, they got size at certain positions. It's a good group of guys.
And there, Weber State does a good job of stretching that out. Doesn't let Watson get to the edge. And a look now at the Cal Difference Makers defense. It's presented by Mitsubishi.
Well, I like Trey Watson. One of those running backs you talked about. He can go inside, he can go outside. On the outside, Demetrius Robertson. This is a guy that can take the top off of defense, meaning he can run right past you and past the safeties. Watch for them to take their shots with Demetrius Robertson.
And he was really targeted by North Carolina last week. Didn't have much, Robertson, and Cal's other receivers, namely Vic Wharton. Very big game. Third down. Pressure coming. Bauer steps away. And there's a terrific catch on a throw behind Gavin Reinwald, a freshman tight end who just turned 18.
What I like about Bowers, what I saw on the film from last week, when there's panic, he doesn't panic. He doesn't worry. His feet stay square and he keeps his eyes down the field. And there's the benefit of it. He finds his tight end as his third or fourth progression.
And there's a handoff on that jet sweep action to Demetrius Robertson. And Robertson punches the ball inside the Weber State 45.
Pretty conservative offense so far by Cal. A couple of the zone read runs, which are more dedicated runs. One pass play, which was just to the sticks, everybody at the sticks, and a reverse.
Trey Watson continues as the running back, gets the ball bumped out to his left, but does a nice job. Found a lane, slid through it, and has a first down inside the 35.
Yeah, good blocking on the perimeter. Patrick McCarry out there, and then big 72 Cameron Bennett on the G block gets around. G block is where the tackle comes down, that guard pulls, and that gets you to the edge. That's where you can pin the edge in. Nice blocking scheme by one of the old greats in Steve Greatwood, offensive line coach of the Bears.
Right. Well, there's a familiar name to Pack football fans. Double. It's Robertson coming back around. Look at the quarterback running with him. And Robertson to the end zone. Touchdown, Cal.
Well, there's that speed. They had run a jet sweep to him. Didn't fool anybody, but you do it. You run it one way and come back with the double on him. He's too fast. There's too much space. Too many guys on that Weber State team trying to make a play rather than staying home. And that's what happens. Everybody gets one way. They've lost contain. There's no one home. Ross Bowers going to go try to get a little shove on somebody that's unnecessary because Demetrius Robinson's got too much speed and walks in.
But Bowers has said, wait, he's a quarterback. He said, I didn't run all this way to not hit somebody, right?
He got that right. He wanted to show up on film.
Right. So 34 yards on that run by Demetrius Robertson. Well, Cal last week in North Carolina was clearly aware of Robertson's terrific freshman year here. They had him limited. So Cal finds a way to get him the ball twice on reverses in this first drive.
That's right. And you know, that talking about last week, they certainly tried to limit him, but in the meantime didn't stop the run game as well, and allowed Wharton and VC and some other wide receivers to make too many big plays against him. Put test on the try.
All right, so a delay of game penalty is called against Cal. That was on the before the point try. Gary Reed is our referee today.
That'll upset Mr. Wilcox, won't it? That's the type of thing that coaches hate, particularly new coaches and particularly defensive coordinators and guys like him that are so buttoned up on procedure.
So Matt Anderson with a 25-yard PAT, drills it through nonetheless. So precisely what you want when you start against a team from the FCS. Cal just right down the field.
Right down the field, give them confidence. That's what they did. Demetrius Robinson with reverse for a touchdown. It's Cal 7-0.
This Pac-12 football game is presented by Opus Bank, official bank of the Pac-12. And by Dr. Pepper, the one fans crave. And by 76. We're on the driver's side. All right, so Cal, 66-yard drive, 5 runs, 1 pass. And they'll get a touchback here on the kickoff. So Jay Hill will bring and watch his offense come out. Against the Cal defense, there is the receiver Robertson, having scored a rush touchdown. And the Weber State quarterback, there he is, number 11, Stephen Cantwell. He is a senior from South Jordan, Utah. And you talk to the the Weber State coaches about him, and mirrored, he won 2 high school state championships, and that's the word that they use about him. They say he's a winner. And he had a very good game against the NAIA school that Weber played last week. And they run a little jet sweep action there. And the give, and there's the ball ripped free. There was not stopped on the field. Darrell Denby had the ball ripped from him, and it's given to Cal.
That's a great job by the Cal defense of staying alive, not thinking a guy is tackled, making sure you get at the ball and rip at it. Doesn't appear he's down. It looked like he was still on top. We're going to get a great view right here. Is he on top of the defender? Is he on top of the tackler? We'll see as he's going. No, that's a fumble. That's a great job of forcing that fumble. Cameron Good, number 19, comes in, uses the left hand, and pulls and rips that thing out. That will be going towards Cal.
Yep, Cameron Good, red shirt, played for the first time with the rip, and the ball bounced right into the hands of James Looney, the fifth-year senior, although apparently they're going to
on the field
review this, having a change of possession on the play.
you know, they're going to review this, and you know, when you have those graphics that come up, they're hard to change. You got to make those in advance. And you know, when I talk about difference makers for Cal on their defense, I'm just going to say it. My guess is Cameron Good is going to come up as a difference maker.
All right, here's what they're going to watch again to see if Denby's down. Is he on? Oh.
Yeah, he's on top of that defender. Had he broken loose and got 5 more yards, it would have been good for 5 more yards.
How about the right arm? That's what I'm just interested to see.
Well, a hand is not a forearm.
The hand right there.
Maybe.
Elbow.
Are they going to be able to see in time with the football would be the question.
Right. You're right about if he falls on top of a player, he's not down. That's the right elbow, I'm sure, is what they're looking at. Right there.
And right here, you can't tell whether he has control of the ball at that point or not. So they'll have to go to the other one.
Now, again, I think we see, Glenn, a lot in football that this very play, the whistle is slow to be blown. Let the play continue because you can correct this very easily. You are correct. Yeah.
And again, we can't see whether the ball has popped out at that moment or not. I would say this. I think they erred on the correct side by not blowing the whistle. I think if I could parse it out and look at it, I would think probably he is down, but I don't think there's enough to overturn it. I think it's going to stand but not be confirmed.
All right, our replay official today is Jack Wood here in Berkeley. He is connected to Command Center at Pac-12 headquarters in San Francisco. Michael Batlin, who was a longtime referee in the conference, is there. So we are operating here in Berkeley today under the full new Pac-12 replay system. And there in the lower right is Command Center. Mission Control.
There are more TV monitors in that room than I've owned in my whole life.
The rule on the field stands. California football, first and third.
I think, again, the verbiage there means, as you said, Glenn, too hard to tell.
That's right.
Stands.
There wasn't enough to take it to overturn it. I think we can all, if we were to guesstimate and really talk about it, yeah, we'd say he probably was down. But because they lengthened the whistle, because they allowed it to play out, it was called one way, and they can't overturn it. That's a great job with the procedural and the organization of the officials doing the right thing.
So right back to work comes Cal. And how about this setup? They've got Bowers split very wide to the bottom of your picture. And this is Patrick Laird standing back in what looks like a Wildcat setup. So something new, and it is right to Laird. But Weber's all over that. Weber State's defense. Nice job there. Legrand Toia leading the way. And there's McKay Murphy as well, number 90. McKay Murphy, a senior. And a great Utah name. He is the youngest son of the great baseball MVP Dale Murphy. So a loss of 1 on that attempt to use the Wildcat. Bowers now on the roll. And too high to Robertson.
I think what we'll soon find out by watching Weber State is they're going to be disciplined. They're going to be hard-nosed kids. If you know, and vast majority of their roster is from the Utah area. They're going to be disciplined and hard-nosed because that's what they learn in high school, and that's who Jay is as a coach. They're going to be where they're supposed to be. Now, will they be overwhelming talent? Probably not. Overwhelming speed? Probably not. But they're not going to be easy.
So now Cal goes to an empty backfield on the long third. Weber State only rushing 3, and they still get Bowers. He tried to step through and couldn't. So a nice stand-up by the Weber State defense, and once again, McKay Murphy makes the play.
We'll get a good look here. And you see they collapse the pocket. The guard can't help, so it's really beating the double play. And it's actually, as you said, it's McKay Murphy right inside, beating the double team of the left guard and center, getting some push, and then coming off to make a nice tackle.
So now 4th down, and Cal is lining up to go for it. Field goal attempt here would be 55, so they're going to go even with a, nope, they're going to quick kick it. And Bowers, it was quick, but not much of a kick, although he's going to get a terrific roll. That's going to end up being okay. Rolls down to the 12-yard line. So here's our defensive difference makers for Cal, presented by Mitsubishi.
Devontae Downs, middle back or Mike backer, he's going to make the calls. He's got to see things. He's got to be there and stop the run. And outside, setting that edge, Cameron Good. He's going to be a guy that moves out and plays that edge, but he'll go all the way out in case of screens. You're going to watch him kind of play from the tackle all the way to the sideline. He's got to set the edge defensively. We saw it on the very first possession. Did a nice job setting it and ripping the ball out for a fumble.
Well, Weber State needs to pick up now. Their defense really helped. And Cantwell's first pass off a little play action is a completion. It's Drew Batchelor, a senior receiver from St. George, Utah, that makes the catch. And so when your defense, and as an old lineman yourself, you know that the defense just bailed him right there with a stop. Now the offense wants to put a couple of first downs together.
That's right. They want to get a couple. First things first, right? Flip field position. We can do that. That's a great thing. Second thing, can we get some points? So you got to get a couple first downs so you can flip the field position.
So a 6-yard gain on first down for Weber State. Cantwell trying to get people aligned right. That's Andrew Vollert, their terrific tight end. And finally, they run out of time. Well, they have a standout player on offense for Weber State, and he's got a lot of Northern California ties to him. It's Andrew Vollert, the tight end, and there he was not where Cantwell wanted him to be. As a result, they lose 5 yards.
Yeah, either
once they got the time. Did they get a time? They did get a timeout.
So a miscommunication either from the sideline to what the formation was, or the quarterback wanted a little something different. Who knows? We're not down there, but that is their playmaker, as you said. Andrew Vollert, the coaches are high on him.
Right.
Even in Cal, everybody knows that guy. They watched on film. They said, there's a guy, we've seen him. He's good. He's a big tight end. He stands 6'5", weighs 245 pounds. You can see him there, number 87. Makes the quarterback, Cantwell, not quite look as big.
Yeah, that's the guy. He's, I mean, the Weber State coaches on the phone with us this week were talking about, you know, they think that's a pro potential player from San Mateo. He went to St. Ignatius High School in the city, eventually San Jose State to start his college career, transferred to San Francisco City College, and then to Weber State. And here he comes down now to the bottom hash mark. Cantwell on the keep, and Cal smothers him.
So they motioned Vollert to find out what the coverage was and hopefully to pull a man over and get him out of the box. And Cal saw this coming, ran a little trick inside, had all the gaps covered, did a nice job with their responsibilities.
Now there's Big James Looney again, and he was a standout for Cal on the defensive line last year. 5th year this year. They say through his actions, he is clearly the leader of the defense.
Yeah, and you watch on film, and he's one of those defensive linemen that makes things happen.
So quick 3rd and 3 throw, and getting the first down. Nice move into the field goes Taiwan Prince.
Taiwan Prince with that ball, he knew what he had. He had the big man Andrew Vollert, 87, out blocking lead for him. That's who gets him the block that gives him something. He gives him the block that allows him to go upfield, then gives him a block that allows him to cut back because he stayed in contact with his man. So we haven't seen him on his pass catching, but Vollert so far shows that he's pretty good when it comes to point of attack with his blocking.
All right, so there's a good start for Weber State. They get a first down to keep their drive going. Cantwell with all kinds of time takes the deep shot, has his man, and a big completion. Daryl Denby. Well, he fumbled on the first play of the game, and he gets a chance to reprieve right away on the home run hit.
Yeah, he made up for it in a big way. It's a little play action. Number 28, middle of your field, Quentin Tartable. He gets caught looking at the quarterback's eyes, drifts past the 1 hash mark so he can't cover the ground back to get there. And just watch the way that Cantwell just kept his eyes left, kept him left, came back right. That dragged that safety, manipulated the safety, Tartable, over the hash. Once he did that, there was plenty of room for that throw. Really nice job by Cantwell.
A 52-yard play, and now a quick one to the outside for Drew Batchelor. Good open field tackle by Cal first-year player Cameron Bynum. He's a redshirt that has stepped right into a starting role. But the big play The 52-yarder not just flips field position, gives Weber State a chance to put this in.
Well, it gives them a chance at points one way or another, and that's for certain. So you're right. Flip the field position. They have a chance at a field goal, maybe a touchdown. And more than anything, it gives them some confidence. Gives them a little something moving forward. Maybe you eat into that confidence of Cal a little bit. They're a young team as well.
So 2nd down and 6 for the Weber State Wildcats. Cantwell got a high snap there and really couldn't get going. Alex Funchess, linebacker, was in quickly, and then James Looney finished.
And what a job by Funchess penetrating. That's some violent penetration. And this is supposed to be it was supposed to be a little pitch, a little option. There was no chance. But high snap, that took care of the timing of the option. Now he just had to eat the ball and lose some yardage. So great job by the Cal defense on that one.
There's James Looney, who's one of the biggest plays for Cal on defense in an era that didn't feature a lot of defense. His goal line stop last year to win a game here on this field against Utah. Cantwell's 3rd down throw. Oh, and he had his man Denby on the cross, but the throw behind, and now Weber State has the 4th down decision.
And that one's going to eat at him for a while. It's a drag route. It's a crossing route from the backside all the way over. Just lead him. You've got the 1st and maybe a lot more. He puts it way too far behind him. And that one will eat at Cantwell, the quarterback, all night.
So now it is 4th down, Weber State. They need the 12-yard line for a first.
I think
that penalty's decline. 4th down.
All right, so sadly we didn't hear that, whatever Gary Reed had to say there. But Cal is choosing to not give Weber State another 3rd down shot. And Weber State will bring a field goal team out. Jacob DeMaio is their place kicker. He is a senior from, no, I'm sorry, it's Troy Tuttle. Excuse me, Troy Tuttle, freshman from Arlington, Texas, is the place kicker. Just shy of 38 yards. And that one right down the middle. Hey, they all count, right?
They all count.
Good job for freshman in his first kick. All right, a warm Saturday, a lot of fun here in Berkeley. Cal's up 7-3. All right, Cal up. Cal fans are loving this. First home game, beautiful afternoon. Students are here as well with class back. All nice day up in Strawberry Canyon. For Weber State, one big play fueled their drive, our Buick scoring drive. There you see 68 yards, 52 of them on the one pass to Denby. And it ends with a 37-yard field goal by Tuttle.
Well, now this Weber State Wildcat defense wants to build on that stop, see if they can't turn the ball over. And of course, Cal, pretty conservative offensively other than that double reverse. Let's see if they'll open it up a little bit.
And here comes Ashton Davis once again. And that's time Weber State covers the kick well, although they can't wrap him up, and Davis gets about 5 extra yards. Let's go back now to our studios in San Francisco, get an update with Ashley Adamson.
Yeah, Ted, we take you to Pasadena for this Opus Bank studio update. UCLA, Hawaii. Opening drive. Bruins go 99 yards. Josh Rosen caps it with this strike right here to Darren Andrews. UCLA up 7-0 in the first. A reminder, you can see that game over on our Pac-12 network, our Pac-12 Now app, or pac-12.com. Ted?
Well, today is a day for you to have multiple screens going. You have a couple of iPads rocking, have your big screen at home, and we have games across a lot of networks.
The previous play
involving conference schools
is under review.
So they're going to review that and review the kickoff, see if there was a fumble. Weber State said they had it. And it wasn't obvious. He was laying there with the ball. Apparently they think they had a chance because they're going to check this out.
And so we've had a bunch of stoppages here in the first half of the first quarter. And again, down.
No, he's down. That's his forearm with the ball hitting the ground.
Yep, exactly. So his hand is down.
Well, that very first view gave us a good look.
Yes, exactly.
And this might, if there's no bodies in the way, that's the arm with the ball hitting the ground. So that's.
And what were we taught among many things that have changed? The one thing that hasn't changed, right, is the ground.
Well, the saying is the ground can't cause a fumble, but it certainly can. If the man's untouched and he hits the ground with the ball,
that's true.
He fumbles.
That's why you played in all the Super Bowls, man. You know
can cause a fumble. But if you were within contact with the opponent, the ground cannot cause a fumble. There we go. The worst of all those things, which is patently untrue, is that there's holding on every play, because there is not.
I thought you could say defensive holding on every play.
There is that.
Exactly, right.
Let's get to the brass tacks here. Defense, their very nature is that of...
Well, this is not the effort to quicken the pace of play. We're not seeing that in the first 7.5 minutes, 8 minutes here. And this is a game that's being played by the new experiment employed by the Pac-12 this year. And a shorter halftime.
The ruling on the field of a fumble and the recovery play stands. California's ball, 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Well, that didn't work. The ruling was not a fumble. It is California ball. So the call does not stand. But what we have right is Cal has the ball.
Cal has the ball.
That's what we know. 1st down at the 22. Bowers has Trey Watson alongside. Low snap there. Nice field. And Watson works the middle out to the 27. Look at 5 yards on 1st down. Trey Watson over 700 yards rushing last year. Along with Nweri, it's a good 1-2 combination. Different sizes, strengths, and Nweri's a load. Maybe a good short yardage back.
That he is. And another thing that I like that they do is their wide receivers block extremely well, particularly whenever there's someone up on them. If there's a run, they go after them, and that sets up so many things in play action. So that's where they tend to give that play action, just like a wide receiver's coming up and block and he takes off on you. As you said, when you got Watson and Nweri a load, you run enough, sets everything else up.
So Robertson and Wharton wide receivers here on the 3rd down play. Nice step up by Bowers. He hits Wharton, but Wharton has work to do and he won't get there. Wharton was running sideways, trying to get out to turn the corner, but Zakiel Henry, a senior cornerback, got him.
Yeah, Zakiel Henry did a great job of coming up to meet this threat. Here's an ISO on your receiver. It's a drag across the middle. He'll get this ball. Now watch from the outside. In comes 22. Zakiel Henry. He gets enough on him to trip him up and let the cavalry get there. That's a great defensive stand by Weber State. Cal is going to have to open up the playbook just a little bit if they're going to start moving the ball, it appears.
And so Zakiel Henry back to return this punt by Dylan Klump of Cal. And Klump pins him near the sideline. Harry can't get anything going. So that'll get us to a timeout here with just over 5 minutes to go, 1st quarter in Berkeley. Well, football has been in the life of Justin Wilcox. He's the son of a Hall of Famer. His dad, Dave Wilcox, was a great player at Oregon and an NFL Hall of Famer, played right here in San Francisco for the 49ers. But look at Justin's coaching resume, including a stint here in the Jeff Tedford years, but 5 different schools as a defensive coordinator and some terrific coaches he worked for, including Paul Chryst last year, 1 year at Wisconsin. And again, this little jet sweep action handoff to Denby gets outside, gains some yardage, and then Marleshon Franklin on the tackle for Cal.
And how about this? You know, the Cal card section is justifiably famous. I believe they kind of invented this whole genre, and they have it all set up. Welcome, Justin Wilcox. So that's a pretty exciting thing.
Well, given the way Cal had played the last couple of years, a lot of offensive numbers and virtually no defense, to bring a defensive pedigree in like Justin Wilcox was, I think that was a great signal.
Yeah, it wasn't by accident. That's for certain.
And nice hole here, and Weber State has a 1st down on the run.
What do we know about college football? So there's a lot of places. There was forever the move. We got to have more offense, more offense. Well, everybody went to more offense, and a whole bunch of teams and conferences forgot to bring the defense. And as an offensive player, I'm the first to tell you, I'll play defense first, I'll play field position, I'll play special teams, and I'll win most games. And if winning is boring, then I really don't want to be excited. I want to win.
Kevin Smith was on that carry for Weber State. And the Wildcats have a first down at the 43. Two tight end alignment here. It's again a little different from a lot of what you see in football today. Cantwell going for the deep shot again. Nice adjustment by his receiver, and it's inside the 10-yard line. Shaheed saw the ball coming, and he made the change in his route for the big completion.
Yeah, Cantwell throws this ball, and it's a bit of a duck. Now, he knows he's got Shaheed behind the defense. He's trying to throw it over the top, just doesn't have the arm, and it's drawing a lot of air up there, wobbling. Shaheed does a great job of adjusting, coming back, and particularly not touching the defender in the process and getting himself interference, and makes a great play on the ball.
47-yard pass play to the freshman. He is a freshman, known for his speed, but a nice adjustment on that ball. First and goal. And that one, that was thrown, and Evan Weaver, Cal linebacker, was guarding the umpire. Yeah, and that was nearly a pick.
You have it straight up. He was guarding the umpire. He tried to get to the spot where he could pick it off. The intersection point hit the umpire and couldn't make the play. And you're going to get to look at it right in the middle of the field, right on the hash. The umpire, Weaver, sees it, draws the eye, starts coming over. He's right there and runs square into the official. Would have had a chance on that ball.
So second down and goal. Trayshawn Garrett's the running back. Cantwell keeps. Nice job, Cantwell, to the goal line and in. Touchdown, Weber State. Well, little twist in this game after Cal blew down the field on its first possession.
This is a great job following your running back and your right guard. Big Ty Whitworth gets a hit, and he gets through and then runs straight over Quentin Tartable. Tartable doesn't step up and meet him in the hole. He takes him on, and that allows Cantwell to lean up and get over the line of the end zone and get that touchdown.
Extra point kick is good by Trey Tuttle. So Weber State has hit two long pass plays in this first quarter, and they have taken a 10-7 lead. Right now, we'll go back to San Francisco and get another update from Ashley.
Yeah, so let's go to Eugene for this Gatorade Studio update. Oregon, Nebraska, plenty of offense in this one. Second quarter, Huskers down 21-7. Trey Bryant able to cut that lead 5 yards out. Does not take no for an answer. Takes pretty much everybody into the end zone with him. So right now, Oregon leading 21-14 in the second quarter. Ted?
Well, Stephen Cantwell, and it's funny, talking to Jay Hill, the coach this week at Weber State, he used an analogy. He said he reminds me of Tim Tebow. And you saw, I mean, that's why I thought about watching him score that touchdown on the run. That was a Tebow-esque kind of goal line.
Yes, it was. Putting his body in harm's way, running people over. He is a little squatty, kind of like Tebow, not your lengthy 6'5" guy. Athletic. We've watched him make some good throws, and then we've watched him make some poor throws that his offense has bailed him out of. So, yeah, I think that's a poor man's Tim Tebow, maybe.
Short kickoff here, and Davis gets a running start and out near the 30. And Jay Hill, to follow up on that, he was very clear. He's not saying Cantwell's an imitation of Tebow as a player, but he was saying that kind of toughness. He's 6'2", 220, and he has that, all the words they use, grit, toughness about him. That's why he reminded him of Tebow.
Yeah, the thing is, when we talk about that in football, how a guy reminds us of, we're not comparing him to or even saying he is a clone of. Right. There are things about him that remind us of that guy.
All right, so now Bowers and Cal back to work. See if they get things going. Not there. Racing up to make an open field tackle on Trey Watson. You see Weber State playing with a little bit of zing. That was Keelan Benjamin, a junior from Richmond, California. There are a whole bunch of secondary men on the Weber State team that are from this general area of Berkeley.
A great job on the edge, coming up and making a play.
Ooh, that one took a toll on Trey Watson. Right off to the sideline. Patrick Laird in is the running back. Bowers in trouble. Comes to Robertson. ducked one hit. Look at the swarm by Utah. And Glenn, I'm going to focus on something else here that Jay Hill said during the week when just asked him, about his team. And again, it comes from the Utah program. Watch this.
Yeah, these Weber State kids are coming in hard. They're grinding.
I was going to say what he said. He used the word program toughness. Jay Hill did, but he said not intimidating, and that's what you're seeing on that kind of a play right there.
Absolutely, because there's a guy with all the speed in the world, and they're not laying off. They're going after him.
And let's see over the middle again, a near collision with the umpire. That's what gets everybody's attention, but no flags, incomplete pass, 4th down.
Yeah, the fans wanted the fact that they thought the defender was hanging on the wide receiver crossing over the middle. And we'll take a look. Is he there? Maybe it's tough to see anything from that angle. The umpire's in the way. That's what the fans see, but I don't know that there's enough to call from anybody on the field could have seen that. And again, that's a 3 and out. That's the 3rd straight 3 and out for this Weber State defense.
Exactly. That's what has started to turn this game. A fair catch called by Zakiel Henry for Weber State. And so, yeah, Cal goes down the field, 6 plays to score a touchdown on the opening drive and not a 1st down since. And Stephen Cantwell, who scored the Weber State touchdown on a run, but has hit 2 big passes. The second one, give credit to his receiver.
Absolutely. He was accurate with that first one right there. Is beautifully thrown, and the way he manipulated the safety. Now this one, a lot of air because of the wobble in the ball, but your receiver does a great job adjusting, getting back to it, making a play on it.
So now on 1st down, Cantwell throws one low, but it's a sliding catch, and there is the first of the afternoon for Andrew Vollert. 6'5", 245 senior.
What I've seen out of Cantwell is a real understanding of where the safeties are and how to move them. He's done a nice job with his eyes. He doesn't lock on to receiver. He sits and he waits and he manipulates a safety or a DB where he wants him and makes the play from there.
Gives it right back on that, again, that jet sweep, fly sweep action. This time it was Taiwan Prince who gets the handoff.
Yeah, and he gets a great block out on the perimeter from Tui Satuala. His tight end is out there who gives him the corner to cut through. That gets him the 4 or 5 yards that gets him up close to this 1st down.
One thing we're seeing in this 1st half, and Cal knows this well, preparing for Weber State, they'll use 2 running backs. They'll use 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. Sometimes they'll go 3 tight ends. The kind of formations you don't see as much in today's college football.
Yeah, they do a good job of blending personnel groups with the zone read and a lot of the misdirection they use.
And there's Cantwell getting the 1st down just enough before Tony Macari dragged him down. So in the closing seconds of the 1st quarter, Weber State gets a 1st down.
And this is exactly what you want if you're a Weber State team. Slow, grind, move fast when you want to move fast, change your personnel groups, get into the head of a Cal team that just coming off a big win, that responded well, and keep yourself around in this game.
And Weber's going to let the quarter clock run out. So they took a pretty good shot to start the game, did the Weber State Wildcats. And they picked themselves right up.
Yeah, they weren't afraid. They got popped in the mouth and said, hey, I think we're going to be fine. Just let's go and be ourselves and be gritty. And they've done that and responded really well.
Well, Cal didn't expect to have this as they did last week. They played from behind and won at North Carolina. They're down by 3 after the 1st quarter in Berkeley today. This Pac-12 football game is brought to you by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA. By T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher, the proven sports fuel. All right, Weber State up 10-7 as we get set to start the 2nd quarter. 1st down for Weber State from their 39. And quarterback Stephen Cantwell stepping back to change. Still time on the play clock. Hasn't used their top runner, Trayshawn Garrett, yet. Big pressure here, and Cantwell got it away. Just in time. He was going down from Cameron Good, and then the pass was swatted by Macari.
Now they come out in 12 personnel, which is 1 back, 2 tight ends. They're going to pass out of it, but they let Good go scot-free. He's running clean. Now he's one of the explosive people on the edge of this defense. He's tough to block one-on-one. And if you decide not to block him, your quarterback's got a long day. So something happened there. They didn't communicate, but you can't let Cameron Good come in free without a block.
And 2 big fifth-year guys, Tony Macari and James Looney, that anchor that defensive front for Cal. Here's a screen set up. And punched out. What a punch out, but the ball goes, well, let's see, was it out of bounds? Saved in by Cal. There's also a flag down. Crazy play, and they're ruling that ball belongs to Cal. Well, they're saying it didn't go out of bounds.
So they're going to take a look, and if it went out of bounds, they're going to see that it went out of bounds.
Yes.
But there's a flag on the play, and it was dealing with a block down the field. Curious what happened. It could have been a defender who went low on an offensive player. We'll find out.
Well, a nice screen setup to begin with to get the ball to Trayshawn Garrett, and then I didn't see who did this, but a tremendous punch out.
Yeah, they knew they had pressure, went right to the pressure, and a great job on the back of knocking that ball out.
Offense, that penalty is fine. First down, California.
So the ruling on the field is the ball belongs to Cal, but again, they'll watch this to see, does this ball hit out of bounds?
Here's the block. Big 75 did nothing, but they got a hold on that wide receiver.
Devontae Downs.
And that ball looks like it bounced out of bounds. It's hard to see. We'll have to see.
This should give us a pretty good look here. There's Devontae Downs who punched it. And does the ball actually hit out of bounds on the white?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like it does.
Sure does right there. Great job of the official seeing the hold. And a great job Devontae Downs. He was another of our difference makers. I don't know if you know that, Ted.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a difference maker call, because this is going to be significant, not just the ball back to Weber State, but it's going to change field position by about 40 yards. Weber State's going to get the ball. Look where they'll get it if this indeed is ruled, as it appears, out of bounds.
Well, if it's ruled out of bounds, then the penalty will take effect, because they'll accept the holding
penalty. That's true. You're right.
But this is a great view, and what it does show us is the ball hits out of bounds.
You're right. So another goofy play here that's going to stop the game. These are the kind of things that make it challenging on fans today, because it's a lot of stoppages, and there are 2 video boards here that give you some semblance of what's happening. But you're right, and obviously the penalty would be enforced. Cal would accept the penalty.
That's right.
If indeed the ball is not theirs. Otherwise, it would have been about a 40-yard field position change. Yeah,
would have been a good one. But I love the non-give up of the Cal defense. Devontae Downs knocking that ball out. Just a great job of not giving up on the play. And because he hustles from sideline to sideline, they get a chance to really change this game. Now it's not going to happen ultimately, because the ball does go out of bounds. But let's not give short shrift to the fact that a defender made a great play.
If you're going to overturn the call, to me it has to be right. That's the view. And again, the side judge, it's an interesting thing, because the side judge is right there, should see it, but he's also in the process of throwing his flag.
He's throwing the flag and throwing it and figuring out who the number of the guy holding was. And let's face it, this is the exact type of play replay's made for. So yeah, the ball went out of bounds. Saw the nose hit the weight.
And then another question here, 17, Wharton. Is he out of bounds? He's out of bounds.
Yeah, so
he's already out of bounds when he touches the ball. So there's another.
There you go. Good point.
Angle. Yep.
So we're going to find out where they're going to mark this ball exactly. And this again gives us a great view to where it goes, and then they'll take the penalty, and we'll figure it all out.
Well, there's a lot going on here, and that's why this is actually a wonderful example of having command center. And listen, Michael Batlin is there today. Of course, David Coleman is there, and communicating with Jack Wood, who's the replay official here in the booth in Berkeley. All down to the field. Pac-12 was very proud last year. The review times were the lowest of the major conferences. That one's being stretched a little bit in the first quarter here, because we've had some strange plays.
So we're going to another look at it. that nose of the ball hits White, and as you said, the offensive player touches it out of bounds.
Well, if the ball's out before Wharton touches it, the ball's dead.
Right.
And that would be Weber State ball there.
Right, and you can see it's the just at there, the 9 or D4, not being able to see an actual yard mark there. But
so Wharton's touching it would be irrelevant if the ball's ruled to be out of bounds.
Right, which it looks like that would be I want to say that's the 29-yard line where it hit out of bounds. And the defender was out of bounds just past that, so we'll find out. And they're doing a good job. They're replaying it for us. They're going to a lot of replays. They're going to get it right. It's unfortunate that it takes a long time and hurts a little bit of the continuity of this game and the flow.
It is this one is a most unusual play. You have so many different elements here, including the penalty that would likely come into play if that ball is ruled, as we sense it would be ruled, out of bounds prior to the touch by Vic Wharton. And then it would be Weber State's ball.
That's right. And your sticks have moved. So you need to then also find out, okay, where were we? What's all the things we have going on here? And the officials, they've got their plate full right now, that's for sure. They'll verbalize it to us.
Yeah, the explanation of this one could be a little challenging. Again, because there's so much going on here. And the crowd is understandably and again, as much as we all want things right, and I absolutely love review, but this is difficult when you're trying to keep people coming to stadiums and you want them here and you want them engaged in the game. This length of a review is hard.
Yeah, and I think right now the issue is that where to spot the ball. Once they figure that out, everything else will come around. Mr. Reed is going to give us the
ruling on the field is reversed. The Weber State runner fumbled the ball forward, went out of bounds, recovered by California. By rule, the fumble forward returns to the spot. Will be first down, Weber State at the 49-yard line.
So it's returned to the spot where the fumble occurred, as you said, because it was a fumble forward.
That's right. So now they should march off then the holding penalty from there. That looks like what they're going to do. They're going to mark it back from that spot. From the plus 49, they'll move it on back.
So the ball will return to the Weber State 41.
And we can play some football. I know.
That's a net. You know what the net difference is? 2 yards. The previous play started at the 39 of Weber State. So that's a 2-yard difference after all of that.
Well, rather than have Cal have the ball and you be in what would be a second or third down, now you're into a first down. So Weber State will happily take the outcome, I'm sure.
Now they're saying second down, which I don't understand. Help me if I'm missing.
It was second down to begin with. Not sure I understand that.
I don't understand that, because the gain of the play should have been a first down gain prior to. Anyway, it is second down and 8. And Cal's defense smothers Kevin Smith running back there, and Cal with a whole slew of people. That's Tevin Paul, a red shirt from Austin, Texas, getting in.
What do we always say? Never underestimate the meaning of momentum to an offense and that rhythm you get in. A long stoppage like that, no matter how much, kind of affects you a little bit. Right there, defense was certainly ready for what was coming after.
Well, what Cal would hope might happen, that long delay could blunt a little bit of the momentum Weber State had built up.
Exactly, and that is exactly my point, in that they were in a rhythm and getting the momentum going, and that happens.
All right, they give Cantwell plenty of time here, but he has no one to go. And that's coverage, because their offensive line gave him plenty of time against the 4-man rush. And does Cal have the ball? Yes! Devontae Downs comes out with the ball.
Well, certainly, it looked like Looney might have got in. I couldn't see from the top. It's Looney or Good that gets this sack. It's going to be Looney. I take that back. It's a mixed. It's a combination of Looney,
Ray Davidson,
and Udiego and Ray Davidson and Devontae Downs. Middle backer comes out with the ball, and Cal, after all that, gets the ball in better position than they would have had it simply seconds ago.
Well, Devontae Downs, who's trying to be a leader, more vocal leader on this Cal defense this year. We had a chance to visit with him yesterday.
Offense, number 99, 5-yard penalty, replay.
Ball start here against the Cal offense. Devontae Downs was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week, 13 tackles last week in North Carolina. But Cal with a pre-snap penalty, so they start first and 15. Bowers 4 out of 6 passing, just 19 yards so far, and Weary to the outside. Now the other factor hovering here for California, Trey Watson took a hard bang on the previous series, and we'll watch to see if he returns.
Yeah, took a low shot, ankle, shin in that area, and hobbled off. We haven't come back on. So I think that bears watching, as you said, but here they go empty.
Weber bringing extra people. Bowers gets out of it with a nice throw and a completion short of a first down. That's Kanawai Noah on the catch for Cal.
Now last week there was one weakness I really noticed with Bowers. I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield under pressure, but the one weakness, trying to make some plays, sometimes threw the ball into trouble and or stared at his receiver the entire time and allowed DBs and safeties to break on the ball. Resulted in a couple interceptions for him. So that's one of the things I think he needed to work on from last week. Let's see if he has. We've only seen him pass a few times.
Patrick Laird going out, trying to run a little wheel route, and that ball was one of those, and there's a flag that comes in. That was one of those balls you're talking about, Glenn, thrown into a lot of people in a short area.
Yeah, and he kept looking at the same spot. I think they're going to get a
holding. Defense number 1, 10-yard penalty.
Defensive holding.
First down.
Grabbing on that play, and that was Teron Johnson, the corner, and he'll be over on your left side. He's the guy that's down, the player that is down.
And this is a big player for Weber State. This is
and that's pretty obvious, and that's an easy call for the officials, and it's a good call.
And there it is. You see the collision between teammates, and Teron Johnson out of Sacramento, who's preseason All-American in FCS. Weber State staff, Jay Hill and company, talking to us, saying really they think the tight end Vollert and this player Teron Johnson are guys that could play professional football. They're best prospects on their team.
And every year there's a lot of guys that come out of FCS and make the NFL and go on to have great careers. So if they think that, they've seen something. Remember, all these coaches, they've been around D1 prospects. They've been around a lot of NFL guys. They have a reason to be optimistic about certain guys.
All right, good news for Weber State. Johnson gets up and gets off. Now California has a new set of downs from the Weber State 18. It's going to be the 6th tackle for loss by Weber State so far in the first half. That says something about their defense, and that's their junior Legrand Toia from Riverton, Utah, captain on their defense.
And it shows something about Vic and Wary that he ran right through the tackle of a pretty good sized defensive end, Carton Malin. Ran right through it. That's a big kid. But again, as you said, 6th tackle for a loss so far in this game. We'll have a lot of time left in the second quarter. Shows you what they're able to kind of change the line of scrimmage.
That's something. Trey Watson's back in the game. That's good news for Cal. Bowers hits Wharton on the cross, but he can't get anything after the catch. Benjamin of Weber State all over him. So once again, California facing, as they say in football, they've been behind the chains much of this first half. They really longer second and third downs.
Yeah, they haven't done much on first down, and then almost nothing on the second. They really haven't had 3rd and short. I can think of maybe one time they were 3rd and within 4. So that makes it tough on the quarterback and your offensive line.
4 wide receivers for the Bears, 2 each way. And Bowers to the end zone, but drifting out of bounds on the catch is Robertson.
And it's a subtle defensive play by Taron Johnson, and the reason you love it is he took the real estate away from that wide receiver. He just angled him enough that there was no place for this ball to go other than outside, and that's a great job by a DB, one-on-one, knowing you have safety over the top, and where can you get hurt? Straight back into that corner and eat up that real estate. That's a really good job by Taron Johnson, and they stop. And Weber State, big stop.
So Matt Anderson out, and the senior kicker for Cal ties the game. So Matt Anderson is able to bang that kick through, and Cal's turnover leads to 3, and they tie the game early in the second quarter. Pac-12 football presented by Opus Bank. Tie game here in Berkeley on this beautiful Saturday. Weber State, everybody on the Cal side had the same reaction. Totally understandable. Don't know what to make of Weber State. They played an NAIA school last week and beat them 77-0. Weber State said, we don't know how good we are. We don't really know what to make of last week's game.
Yeah, was the team we played any good? Where did they rank? It's one of the hard things when you play in college football at all, but particularly when you play a division down or division up, you don't know who you are.
Nice running start there by Shaheed, met just across the 20-yard line and dropped by Davison on the special teams for Cal. Well, last night, California Athletics welcomed a new class to its Hall of Fame, and Jason Kidd back, one of the most special names in the history, and it's a great one of Cal basketball. Obviously now the Jason Kidd, the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know what that means, but those are 3 great names.
He had a great college career and a great pro career, and and as we all know, sometimes those point guards can become great head coaches.
Yeah.
Those guys that can go to, like, say, the Golden State Warriors, and like the University of Arizona alum Steve Kerr win some championship.
You're gonna work that one in. And Jason spent 2 years here, and he really transformed Cal basketball, turned it back into a national presence. So much deserved, and that sign is apparent reference to those 3 players. Alan Craig, of course, was with the St. Louis Cardinals then, all winning championships in that year. Cantwell's got a man. So Weber State's across midfield. The 3rd big pass play of this first half. Rashid Shaheed again on the catch.
Yeah, and what happens here, he gets behind the corner. Now watch, as he gets behind this corner, Elijah Hicks turns him loose, but there isn't help back there. The safety's in the middle of the field. The safety can't get over the top. That's a huge hole. Cantwell does a nice job of seeing coverage, understanding where coverage was and where the mistake was, and finding it.
Well, Shaheed is the son of a track standout. You can tell the way he runs. That's a 28-yard pass play. And Cantwell on play action. Does he have a screen set up? And eventually just dumps the ball away as he's about to be smothered by James Looney.
I think they're going to mark this as a sack. I think the ball, he didn't get outside the tackle box. It didn't go past the line of scrimmage. So
they're going to let that play stand as an incomplete pass. That's a break for Cantwell.
There was probably someone right there that I didn't see.
There was Kevin Smith was somewhere in the vicinity, running back. Cantwell bobbles the snap and does a good job. I mean, he bought some time, and he got the pass to Andrew Vollard for a gain of 5, and it gives Weber State a manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of having that big tight end use his body right there. There was not a lot of place to put it, but enough body difference and size in there for Vollard to be open and get just enough. And you're right, very manageable now.
Cantwell 9 out of 13. Vollard has caught 2 passes. So 3rd down and 5. Empty for Weber State. Cal brings 4. And that one just off Vollard's hands and then sailed past a Cal defender.
Yeah, he had him open, put it just outside of his reach, and they got what they wanted. They shifted him from outside to inside, had him run the out. He was open. It was a mismatch, but didn't deliver the ball where it needed to be.
Josh Drayden was running in there for Cal and was hopeful of getting his hands on it. So now the Bears have Vic Wharton back to return the first punt of the day by Weber State. This is Jacob DeMaio.
False start. Offense number 95. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
4th down and 5 it was. So the defensive side there, you want to be careful. You don't want to jump.
That's right.
Now 4th and 10.
So they made him bring it back a little, but still plenty of room now to boom one. You don't have to worry about placing it near as much.
DeMaio hits that with an end over end. It's going to hit right on the goal line and be down.
What a punt. That was outstanding. That's as good a punt as you're going to find.
Wow. That's, I mean,
he's fired up too.
That is the envy of any golfer on earth. You can hit a ball like that and make it stick backwards. That's what the guys who do that for money are the ones that can make this. Look at this. And Cal's pinned at its 2. Now the San Francisco Bay Bridge. There's about 3 minutes a day when traffic flows that smoothly. It's usually about 3:30 in the morning. So we got a rare shot there, and here's a rare shot. Cal pinned deep, and another play that looks to be a loss as Cal tries to run that ball out from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, this offensive line not able to get movement. They don't get movement. That Weber State team does a great job staying low, winning the leverage battle. You see Murphy in there, does a great job. Some good penetration on the backside. And he stopped probably on the half-yard line. They gave him 1. I might have given him the half.
So 2nd down and 11. Bowers, oh wow, got that ball away. That had a dangerous look to it, but Noah made the catch, and they just get it across the 5.
Yeah, again, pressure on Bowers. Looks what comes from Murphy right in the middle. Drags him down. The ball has a little duck on it. And just lucky enough to give themselves a little bit of room.
So 3rd down from the 5-yard line, and Trey Watson. And there's a big play for California. Gets them a 1st down. Gets them out of a deep punt hole. And now Watson, who came back after a tough hit in the 1st quarter, doesn't get up.
If you're a Cal fan, Cal coaches obviously holding their breath right now. Such a good weapon to have as a change of pace with Vic Onwere, those 2 guys. And as you said, came off once and
all right, so Cal's staff trying to help Watson get off the field after this 1st down run. Here, we'll have to see if Trey Watson, how this plays out. He was out once, just came back, gave it a shot. Now we'll see. California's home here again next week. They have Ole Miss coming in, which will be a interesting intersectional game. Right now the Bears have a 1st down at their 17. Haven't got much going in the pass game yet. And Bowers buys all kinds of time and then finds Wharton. Now this is the connection that developed in North Carolina last week. 3 explosive plays from Bowers to Wharton.
The one thing I talked about, that one thing Bowers doesn't do well is he locks on receivers. But I also said what he does well, he really keeps his eyes down the field. He's not looking to run. He's looking to find people.
Demetrius Robertson with the catch. Ross Bowers, the son of 2 coaches. His dad was a longtime football coach at James Madison University. His mom was a gymnastics coach. As Patrick Laird gets a big one. And Patrick Laird runs away from the defense to the house.
And just a great job by Patrick Laird of vision. Running backs have to have that vision. A lot of guys, they'll put their head down and smash into folks. Laird, incredible job of seeing the hole and getting there.
Well, this is his first year to really participate at a San Luis Obispo.
And you see, hit the hole, vision, make a cut, find your room, and understand the angle to the end zone. Nobody touches him after the line of scrimmage. That's a great job of running by Laird. A great job up front by that offensive line, springing it.
51-yard run by Patrick Laird. He had a big touchdown catch last week. Cal used 3 running backs last year. Khalfani Muhammad, one of them, has moved on.
Game, offense number 9, 5-yard penalty, replay the try.
Finished his career, so Pat gives Laird a chance to step in as one of the 3, and now with Watson down, it's probably one of the 2.
Yeah, but you know the thing is, I don't know that you thought he had that speed, but Laird he ran past the safety and a DB there, so he's got something.
Exactly, Glenn. That's what the Justin Wilcox and Bo Baldwin were telling us yesterday, was he could get outside the tackles and run.
Yeah,
that was the element he brought to their
and I think it's one of those guys, you watch him, he's deceptively fast. They tell you, when somebody can tell you he's fast, you watch him, he doesn't look fast, but his stride is long. He's covering ground. And that, to me, is what makes him special. I think guys think they have an angle, and they don't. And he was out the gate.
And this is it. I mean, this is going to open up some eyes in tape rooms, because, again, he's a big-size running back, and he's not supposed to run away from DBs.
He's 245 pounds, and he's on the hop.
So California back to the lead, which they owned after the first possession of the game. And after giving up some big pass plays to Weber State, Cal strikes with its big run play, 51 yards by Laird. They had the 34-yard reverse touchdown run by Robertson to cap the first drive.
Well, I look for Weber State here to have a lot of some runs, counters, things like that, and then when they pass, to get you use play action to manipulate the safeties. Cantwell's done a nice job. I think they're going to try to grind out a little longer drive using run and play action pass. Anderson's
kick for Cal, going to field by Rashid Shaheed. He's coming out of the end zone. And boy, Cal with a nice little wall of blue there, right at the 20. Well, we'll see how Weber State and Cantwell responds. Been a good first half so far. 8 of 13 for Cantwell for 154 and a rush touchdown.
I've been impressed with this Weber State team so far. It's early, but they're staying in this game. And what I'm impressed with is the tenacity at which they play, their discipline, and they fly around to the ball.
There's Luke Rubenzer now. You see him out there in the Cal secondary, senior that taxes your memory a little bit to remember old Luke as a quarterback here.
That's right.
When he first came, fully in the secondary for his senior year.
And that shows you he's a football player, first and foremost. Quarterback, safety, didn't have, it's probably heartbreaking. Kid wants to play quarterback at Cal. Great line of quarterbacks have come out of here. Didn't work out, but he's a football player, and he goes to safety, and here he is.
Yeah.
Find himself on the field.
Lost a good one from Stanford. Dallas Lloyd had finished up his career last year. It was a similar career path. Meanwhile, Cantwell keeps it, and another Cal veteran, Darius Allensworth, makes the stop, but not until Cantwell runs for a first.
Well, there you see, I think, what the coaches are talking about, that he reminds you of Tebow. They run a lead featuring him as the carrier on the first down, and now they go with an option, and he keeps on the option because it was well played and gets the first down. You can see he's bigger, he's a thicker kid. When I say that, he's a squatty body kid. He's not a tall, lanky quarterback, and he can do more things than simply stand in the pocket.
So Weber State from their 31 now. Shaheed gets a hand up. They're trying to get him out there, and did that ball come out? Ruling down. All right, ball eventually ends up in the hands of Luke Rubenzer, but it's ruled to be down on the field for no gain.
Little sweet, gets out. You'll see this. He slips, Does he go to the ground? The knee's down there. Then he gets hit. Then the ball pops out. Easy call for the officials. And he was on the ground. In that case, the ground couldn't cause a fumble.
That's right. Shaheed's dad was a track standout at ASU. And that's, you see that the Weber State coaches use the word fluid about him, a very fluid runner. Oh, we're getting a timeout here.
California. First timeout of the first half.
Yeah, they'd like to get this ball back. You know, they're looking at a 2nd and long. They're going to see what they can do. If they can get a stop here, if they can get a stop, they can get the ball back and put in another score before halftime, because Weber State's going to get the ball coming out after half.
Well, here's an interesting, I mean, this is a collection, and I always, Glenn, well, not always, but you just think a measure of someone is the people they attract. I call it the magnet effect. Who do you attract to work with you? And Justin Wilcox put together a real nice staff.
Yeah, he did. Bo Baldwin, highly respected coordinator. Tim DeRitter, who's been a head coach as well. Steve Greatwood, one of the better Pac-12 offensive line coaches the last 30 years. Azanaro, a great defensive guy. Yeah, Marcus Tuiasosopo again. There's so many guys on this staff. Charlie Rangel, he squeezed him away from Arizona.
Yeah, there's Marcus with the Tuiasosopo with the phone to his ear there. He was a great quarterback at UW and has been an assistant on a bunch of staffs in the Pac. Campbell sets up a screen to Garrett. Got some blocking. Oh, and there's a nice stand-up tackle by Raymond Davison. Yeah, Raymond head on, and Davison stood up the running back.
Yeah, stood up the running back, ran his feet, and stopped him short of a first down, making this a 3rd and 1. They get some great blocking out front, but just a great job of getting low, wrapping up, and driving your feet.
That's a strong tackle.
Very.
And it had to be at the spot, so it is 3rd down and 2 for Weber State. Clay Moss is now the running back alongside quarterback Cantwell. And Cantwell is going to run it and get it. I'm looking at the other description that Jay Hill gave us about his quarterback. He said he's not agile, but he's powerful. And that's what we've seen.
I think that's absolutely spot on. You know, and that's a great example of that last play. He runs behind his big left guard, Baron Bruce, and he's very calm. He waits, but when he goes, he's not going to make anybody miss now. He's just going to run through a tackle or two and get himself the yardage.
So Weber State keeps its drive going after Cal had used a defensive timeout. Looking for a deep shot again to Shaheed. Oh, he's got him. He's got him for a touchdown. See that coming all the way off the play action. A little post by Shaheed for the Weber State score.
Great job by Cantwell. Play action, keeping his eyes away from his intended target. The safety is stuck. He can't do anything. And when he finds out, it's too late. And he's got his speedster wide open.
You can see this develop from up here clear as a bell.
Yes, you can. And Cantwell he suckered Darren Brown into stepping over that line. And when that happened, that move by Shaheed gets himself wide open. A great job by the Weber State offense and by Cantwell.
55-yard touchdown pass. And the extra point ties the game. And again, it's amazing how you could see that clear as a bell from up here. And I'm sure the Cal coaches could all see it coming and going, no, not this.
I'm assuming you're right that they were screaming. They saw it, but so did Cantwell. Weber State ties the game. Welcome back. Weber State Wildcats tie the game on the back of a touchdown. Rashid Shaheed. Now Cantwell steps back, and right in the middle of the field, you see the safety. He bites on that out stick, and Shaheed makes some pay. Cantwell just understanding what he's seeing, what's out there. He saw single high safety, knew he had Shaheed on that slot, and when he made the stick move, knew he had all that room to throw him wide open. That's a great job by that Weber State offense coordinator and their staff, whole group. Nicely done by them.
Shaheed, a freshman, has caught 3 for 130. They try the dribble onside kick. How about that, Weber State? And no signal yet.
And they came here to win.
They unpile. Nope, it's Cal ball. Yes, they did.
They came here to win, not just play. And they're showing it. Here it is. Does he get it?
Look
Does
at
he
that
get
back.
enough?
Look at that back line retreating. That's what Weber State saw.
Yeah, and you know what? He's kicking himself for two things. If he'd have put a little more on it so that they could have caught up where the defense didn't have enough time to run back, and if he could have just come up with it, and it went right through all their guys.
Yes.
They were there.
What you saw, the front five for Cal, and obviously that's tendency special teams guys look for in tape. You saw them retreating, almost turning their backs.
That's right.
That's why you try that play.
They were watching film, saw what they were doing, and tried to attack it.
All right, so now can Cal take advantage? That's a gamble, and we'll see if Cal can capitalize with this good drive start.
They're going to have movement. The center kind of flinched like he was going to snap it, and he waited just a second. It'll be on 57.
Start. Offense, number 57, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Their pre-snap foul is on the center, Addison Ohms.
If you're going to move as a center, you might as well just, hold on to the ball. Just, I did it. It's me.
3 receivers to the bottom for Bowers. Well, the snaps have been erratic in this half, but Bowers has handled them nicely, and that one he scoops on one hop and hits Noah.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things when you play this type of system where, and now he's got an injured offensive tackle. His right tackle, Jake Curran, big 6'6" redshirt freshman, is down. And here's that snap. He picks it up. He looks right for that crossing route. He gets it, and he gets hit low. Defender gets thrown. Actually bounces.
Benjamin, number 10,
bounces off the quarterback and right into his legs. Hope the best for Jake Curran.
Well, that's tough. Curran from Marin County, Larkspur. Right side of the offensive line for Cal is new this year. 2 red shirts that are starting, first-year players. So Cal's already down with no official word, but Trey Watson has gone out of the game twice now in this first half, running back Watson.
So they bring in their backup center, Ryan Gibson. He goes to right guard. The right guard moves over to tackle, and that'd be Valentino Del Toso. He moves over.
And Bowers will get sacked. Big first down loss there.
And here's what happens. Communication with your offensive line. You have one guy go down, but now you've affected 3 positions. Your center, your right guard, and your right tackle. Now what happens? Your right guard gets caught inside. Your center's trying to come over. No one to slide there. They have a communication breakdown.
Justice Brown, there he is.
And there's the second sack for Weber State today.
And now Weber State will take a timeout.
Weber State, second timeout of the first half.
So Jay Hill going to get his team together here. Weber State with a thought that they may get the ball back. Coming up at halftime, State Farm Halftime Report. We'll check in with Ashley, Evan Moore, Nick Aliotti, Curtis Conway. A pretty impressive quartet in our studio. We'll get you caught up on Saturday, Tease Saturday night. Again, this is a day where we have got games here on Pac-12 Network. There are games all over involving Pac-12 teams. Tonight is an incredible menu of games across all of the television partners of the conference. And here in the Bay Area, where you're watching us at the end of this game, I think most folks will be focusing in on the Stanford-USC game.
That's a huge conference game, obviously, and one they're going to watch for sure. You're right, though. That lineup at the studio, pretty nice. You know what I like about Curtis Conway? He enjoys the surfer wear. I don't know if you know that. He wears a lot of the surfer clothes. Hurley. Yeah. He's into that type of stuff. So I dig that about it.
Conway and Moore have to have something going on that game today, by the way.
They better.
Yeah. Here's a nice job by Laird. Boy, that's a good run for Cal to get that sack yardage plus back and give them a shot on third down.
What I like is, Laird doesn't seem shifty, right? He wants to run straight, let's face it. But nice job of knowing where the blocks are, setting his guys up and get a chunk of yardage back.
So now third down and 5.
How do I get the ball back in his hands?
Well, this could be his game with Trey Watson again having been hurt twice in this first half. Laird going out. Bowers to the near side. Tough throw there on good coverage, and it's incomplete. He tried to hit Jordan Vesey. Was being covered there nicely by N'Keal Henry.
Yeah, N'Keal Henry was all over him, and he was tight on him. There was not a lot of place for Bowers to put this ball, and there was nowhere to go with it. It was a great job.
N'Keal Henry there on the cover, and so 4th down. Justin Wilcox decision. Field goal will be 50 plus. They need 5, and he has the offense in place.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a pooch punt make him go the length of the field, but we'll see.
They tried that once in the half, but no, this one they're going for it. Bowers breaks out, and Bowers finds Wharton. So a nice job. Out of that 3-receiver bunch that was to the bottom of the picture, Wharton winds up going across and gets the first.
And Bowers keeps his eyes downfield through pressure. He steps up. I love watching that kid on film is that he kept his feet square so that he could always throw, and he always kept his eyes down the field.
So inside the 20 now with the first down for Cal. And there's another throw, and that one's out of bounds. Sliding try there by Reinwald, Gavin Reinwald, who caught a pass early in the game.
And Reinwald caught that ball, but because he had to dive for it, it took him out of bounds. If he could have been on his feet, he was in bounds. But the problem is, by diving and getting it, he lands out of bounds. That's a great work on the camera right there, giving me exactly what I wanted. And here's another view.
Remember when
that's a close one. They might look at this. That view was even better.
Remember when 18-year-olds played college football? Remember that?
I do.
This young man just turned 18 from Elk Grove.
And say they want to look. They're going to take a look at it. Yeah. That's a great job of making that call to look at this.
Prior to the snap, the ruling of a catch is under review.
Yeah, I think that's a good one to look at because every view we saw first, he looked out of bounds. But that last one was great. Sure looked like he came down in bounds.
Well, this last one's a pretty clean view. This should be a fast call, I would think. Well, I mean, you have one. We're always looking for the one good shot. This seems to be it, right?
This seems to be it. As he catches it, hits the ground in bounds. That elbow is down before he rolls into the out of bounds. He maintains possession through the entire process of the catch. Let's not forget those words.
Boom. Yeah.
I'm going to say he caught that ball. I'm going to say it's going to be overturned. Cal's going to have the ball there. First down from approximately the 4-yard line. A little just short of the 4. Going out on a limb. I'm going to go there.
This is the only other view you want to see, probably, right from behind, to see does something hit out of bounds first.
We know his arm hit the ground first. I'm going to say he was in. I'm going to say that was great camera work, and even better, the officials are looking at it and going to
overturn it. The ruling on the field was reversed.
Yeah.
The California player caught the ball at the first to go at the 4-yard line.
Well, Glenn Parker, that's why you've been doing this for 100 years. You're right on.
Don't make me older than I am, Dad. I'm pretty young yet. Yeah. I'm younger than Robert Mondavi was when he started his winery, so let's not forget that.
Now that's I know I'm back with Mike Parker, expert football analyst and sommelier,
and a taste for good wine.
Well, that was a good call on your part. That last replay was the one that really did open the door to show that it was a catch. So Cal has first and goal. Tight ends haven't been used a lot in this Cal offense in recent years.
No, even though they had some good ones.
And yeah, they've used Reinwald, freshman, here twice in the first half. He's out there now in a kind of a heavier setup. And this is where Vic and Weary figures to get the action, but Weber State thinks the same way, and they tackle him for loss. Well, an amazing number of minus plays for Cal on offense.
Yeah, Weber State's done a good job of penetrating and stringing out plays. Now, interesting that in Weary, they don't want to go outside here. They want to cut in, but there's a lot of color. Murphy's right in the hole. So Inweri has to bring this out. He's not the guy you want running to the edge. You'd really like to have Patrick Laird running to the edge with that speed.
Inweri's a 245-pound hammerback, and he's a good red zone runner. Now Cal is empty on second down. Backside, there's the ball out. Scoop and score chance. And the day is saved by an offensive lineman. Cameron Bennett saves what looked like a scoop and score for Weber.
You're absolutely right. And there's a sack. Problem is Bowers, he holds it, and as he runs from pressure, not moving up and creating a different angle. The pressure's coming backside.
Carton Malin gets him.
Malin forces this fumble. They miss the first attempt, pick it up the second, and that's Jonah Williams with it. He gets through, and as you said, big Cameron Bennett saves the day. Offensive lineman keeps him from scoring, but they still have 51 seconds. Give him a chance.
Well, that is a huge turnover. California almost assured of some points, gets nothing. Now it's Weber State's chance. And a screen is set up, and it goes through the hands of Garrett. Jonah Williams, he was a freshman All-American last year in FCS. 170-pound sophomore. The problem with those defensive linemen is they're thinking score, and they've got to remember it's scoop first, right?
Possession
That's always
first.
the toughest thing.
Possession over submission, always.
Cantwell felt a little heat coming, gets it to Garrett, but a good tackle at the spot. That's short of a first down. That's Tartable, the safety for Cal on the tackle.
And Weber State can be a little calm here. They're tied. You don't want to give Cal another chance.
Now they get a first down here, so we'll get the momentary stoppage as Vollert with his third catch of the half. Weber State with one timeout. And there's a what a great throw. Right down the seam to Vollert. And now Weber State's in field goal range inside the 30.
Yeah, they get a short stoppage. We'll see if they clock it, or do they attempt to get one off and knowing what their kicker can do. It's a long kick at this point.
They're going for it right here, and they have a timeout. They better stop this play and get the timeout right away, and they do. Wow, they flirted with danger there. We've seen that in this stadium, Glenn Parker.
Yes, we have. We've seen some things happen in this stadium. But great job, Weber State, with 51 seconds on the clock to get down the field. And Vollert, their tight end, who everybody's Cantwell knew right where he wanted to go with that ball. And now they face a field goal sitting at, wow, about a 40-yarder at this moment. Do they have confidence in their kicker? Kalen Fisher, is that who is? He's their long snapper, and they're going to come out, and you're right, it's Trey Tuttle.
Yep.
Going to give it a shot.
So, of course, you kick in Ogden, Utah, you're kicking at altitude, but Tuttle's from Arlington, Texas. So
he's used to it.
Yeah. So, not born and raised in the altitude. This is 41 with Cantwell the holder. For the lead at halftime, nope, not yet. And that's a bad start by Weber State.
Yes, it is.
False start. Offense, number 90, 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
That's significant. Now you make the kick 46.
So Murphy, and normally a D end, in playing the tight end position on PAT. Flinched or some such thing and pushed him back. We'll see if it made a difference.
And he didn't get a ton of that, but he got enough of it. How about that? That didn't sound like the greatest hit by Trey Tuttle, but he made it. Good for him.
It sounded like my 9 wedge out of the rough is what it sounded like. Really fat. But he got it up and through.
And this one is unexpected by certainly anybody in Berkeley. Weber State. And just think about this. The last time Weber State beat a full FBS school 24 years ago. They beat Nevada in 1993. And this kick by Trey Tuttle takes him off the field in Berkeley with the lead at halftime.
You wonder, is there a hangover from the big win on the road? But right now, Cal has a chance. They're down 2017.
State Farm halftime report next. A halftime score that will command attention around the conference. All the other venues today where games are being played, they're going, ooh, how about that? And you saw that last pass. Freshman Rashid Shaheed from San Diego, receiver, has been awfully good as well in this first half for Weber State. Look at the quarterback numbers and the pass yards, 269 for Weber State.
Yeah, they had a lot of big plays down the field, obviously, but a consistent and efficient 15 out of 21. And so you're looking at that yards per attempt, it's pretty darn big. And Bowers, on the other hand, they've been very conservative what they've asked him to do so far, and then they've tried to run the ball and set some things up for him. So I think we'll see his numbers come up in the second half.
One thing we pointed out at the end of the first quarter, you kind of looked at the monitor, the stat that jumped out were the number of TFLs.
That's right.
Weber State's defense, tackles for loss, and that contributes to the minus 27. That's a lot of sacks.
Yeah, it's sacks, it's stringing out plays and making them lose one or two here. I thought it was a great job by that Weber State defense. The front three right inside getting pressure, the front seven making tackles and running sideline to sideline. And it's a complete defensive victory because they've covered well, and then when they've had to tackle, they've swarmed to the ball and made plays.
Well, after a first half that was unusually long, these teams had a short halftime. Again, part of the Pac-12's maneuver this year to hopefully shorten the game. Length of game won't work today, but the coaches had to adapt. 5 minutes less in the locker room at halftime. Something that going into the season, Glenn, almost every coach in the conference said they were fine with that.
Yeah, there comes a point where you can't say a whole lot at halftime. You know, a couple of adjustments are made, and then you give them something to hang their hat on. That's it. In the NFL, it's 12 minutes. That's all you get. You have enough time to use the restroom, get your correction. Let's get back out and play.
So here we go with Matt Anderson kicking off for Cal. Why that last 2 minutes of the first half was so significant. And running up here and running out there is Kevin Smith all the way to midfield for Weber State. So this game took a massive spin at the end of the first half. A turnover by Cal in the red zone. Weber State turns it into 3, and now a big kick return gives them a great start to the second.
You're absolutely right. Weber State answered Cal's touchdown with a touchdown of their own. Then Cal fumbled the ball. Weber State got 3, and now they come out with great, already flipped field position without having touched the ball other than in return.
So Shaheed with that terrific return to give Weber State position at the Cal 48. Fake the motion, give it to Trayshawn Garrett. James Looney on the Cal tackle, but Garrett with a good first down gain. Shaheed's kick return officially measured at 42. And right away, Weber State, I mean, this puts the Cal defense. You're hoping to get a little spin of your own to start the half, and suddenly you've got to defend your half of the field.
Yeah, and you've opened up their playbook. You have allowed Weber State now to kind of do what they want to do in this position.
There's that 2 tight end set again. Faking on that motion. Cantwell, nope, going to keep it and get bumped out of bounds by Devontae Downs. He's looking at Vollert, the tight end, running about the 25-yard line, close sideline.
And had he thrown on time, he would have had him because Cameron Bynum kind of came up for just a sec. Credit Cameron Bynum, though. Once he realized what happened, he turned and ran fast and kept the ball from being delivered and making that play happen and get 0 out of it instead of a big gain.
Now it's a 3 wide receiver set for Weber State. And they'll be all 3 to the top with Shaheed's motion. Shaheed coming out of that slot, but instead it's Cantwell running. Man, I'm telling you, Jay Hill, the Weber State coach, said it to me during the weekend. That's about the 4th time I've seen him run a play like that and think that is like Tebow.
That's right. Well,
it doesn't look like Tim Tebow running this.
He's not shying from contact.
Yeah.
He's putting his body in harm's way and running behind his pads, not upright like a quarterback, to get the extra yardage. But what we've seen him, he's done so many good things as your prototypical stand-up quarterback too. So there's some interesting comparisons to be made, but also some things that are completely different.
Trayshawn Garrett is the running back behind Cantwell. California creeping up near the line. There's the play action throw again to an open receiver. Good hands catch by Drew Batchelor. And Weber State is at the Cal 20.
And what a great catch. Now, I like what Cal did. They stayed in 2 deep zone. They're taking away, they're like, hey, play action. We're taking away that deep ball. This over route, though, comes open for him, and just a great job of Batchelor of reaching out and high point and grabbing this ball to come down with a catch.
One of the players that Weber State said, he's a senior, said he made a huge jump forward for them this year. Empty now for Cantwell. Cal that time tracks him, and Tony Macari gets him. Loss on the play.
That was a great job, Tony Macari, stringing it out, beating pressure across his face and keeping his outside arm free to make the tackle.
So now it is Cal's defense that is challenged to stop here, force a kick. And the tackle for loss on first down helps. So 2nd and 12 for the Wildcats. 3-receiver cluster. And 2 will block. Denby will run and get it down to the 15 just inside. Excuse me, that is Taiwan Prince on the catch.
He had the block of Vollert out in front of him. Vollert was leading the way, and he did a great job of setting the block up, then sprinting ahead to get himself a pretty healthy gain. And I thought he actually got a yard or 2 more than they're giving him.
So a significant play to start this second half coming up for Weber State. 3rd down, and they need just about 4 full yards.
They like the quarterback keep so far down in these situations.
Not here. And the throw is broken up. Intended for Vollert, the tight end. Covered by Marleshon Franklin.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, Ted. I thought Cantwell waited 1 step too long to throw this ball. He had him open. He should have put it on him. He waited. He threw to where he could see him open, and therefore it was behind him just a little bit. Vollert had to go back right into the defense to catch the ball.
And so Cal's defense does force a field goal try. 31 yards here for Tuttle. No, a fake. Cantwell is stopped by Cal. So Weber State has come here with nothing to fear. They tried the onside kick, the surprise at the end of the first half, and there the fake field goal, but Cal stops Cantwell.
Well, credit Weber State going for it, but hey, Cal was ready. All the things they were supposed to do, they did right. They had a big stop, and they get the ball with no points on the board against them in the second half.
Well, Justin Wilcox and Cal have to exhale on that. That's an interesting, just from my 2 cents worth, this is an interesting decision, Glenn.
You know, and I want to make sure that it was a fake. It certainly was.
Yeah.
He stood up, caught this ball. If you're going to fake in this situation, you have to be 100% positive you're going to make that. He wasn't. They didn't get it. I'm with you, Ted. I think it's a play that you just don't make in that situation for the ramifications down the line.
Yeah, Vic Enweri there with a good first down run for Cal. Cal may be without Trey Watson. He got hurt twice in the first half. But that, and Jay Hill, again, credit to be fearless, but there's that line between fearless and reckless that we all counsel our kids, don't cross that line, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And to lose what seemed to be a certain 3 points there, that to me, if I'm on the Weber State sideline, I think I'd be deflated.
I'm with you just to play it, to be on that safe side.
Flag here.
Offense, number 57. Half the distance, replay, 2nd down.
We get Addison Odoms, the center, who was moved to right guard a little earlier, and let's see, is he back at center now? And he is. Jake Kern has come back into the game, so that's a good sign for Cal. But yeah, you know, I think what happens there is, you know, you kick that, and you've got a 6-point lead, which allows you to be 1 possession back a lot easier than it does if without getting that and they start scoring on you.
All right, so Bowers and Cal not trying to dig out of that penalty. And the swing pass to Enweri, and that's a nice tackle by the Weber State defensive group. Austin Tesh leading the way. Something we haven't touched on yet, Glenn, really maybe playing out here too, is that Cal's new offensive coordinator, Bo Baldwin, who's on the sideline, calls the plays from the sidelines, is a guy that the Weber State people know well. They played each other, although not last year. They did play each other 2 years ago, but Big Sky Conference for years together.
And I think you're right. They know tendencies. They know where he likes to go.
Nice job by Bowers. Another spin move. We saw those little pirouettes a couple of times that helped big plays at North Carolina last week. And this time he gets Jordan Vesey for a first down.
Yeah, Jordan Vesey does a nice job staying with his route. And Bowers finally finding him. Takes a little bit of shot and comes out. Vesey, a Golden West College transfer. The finest junior college in the land. I'm just saying, finest junior college.
Not the finest product, though. I noticed you didn't say that.
Well,
there's Beau Baldwin, who's spent his entire life in Washington State. Born there, raised there, played there, coached there at Central Washington and Eastern Washington. Had a prolific offense. He's got 2 NFL wide receivers this year off his offense last year at Eastern Washington. As a swing pass there to Laird, it's going to get Cal out just shy of the 35.
There's where we see the ground covered by Laird. Get him the ball in that swing, and he is rolling. And I like the fact that Beau Baldwin understood, hey, what's the matchup we can start using? Both, as you said, he's had a prolific offense. He has 2 wide receivers in the NFL right now for a reason.
Yep. One of them was a high pick. Cooper Kupp was picked high by the Los Angeles Rams. Other Kendrick Bourne made the San Francisco roster as an undrafted player. Bowers, no, nice play. That defensive line stayed there. That was actually the outside backer Tesh, 53, that stayed with Bowers. Austin Tesh made that tackle. Justin Wilcox and Beau Baldwin had never worked together. They said 1 degree of separation. They had a common football coaching friend that connected them, and when Justin got the job at Cal, he called Baldwin to be the OC, to basically say it's your offense.
When you're a coach and you see enough offenses, you know the ones that are going to be tough to defend. And being a defensive coordinator, Wilcox knew what he wanted on an offensive side of the ball, and he went and got it.
Well, that defensive play by Tesh for Weber State, a big one, because it forces the punt away, and it's a fair catch. A nice punt there by Dylan Klump and Cal that will get us to timeout.
Just keep trusting the system and play hard. Play hard. Let's go. Hey, what's up, man? Just gotta stay within us.
So back we come to Berkeley, and this unusual afternoon proceeding into the 3rd quarter with Weber State fully believing that they can do this today. Cantwell on the handoff. That is Kevin Smith on the carry, and he punches it out for almost 6 yards.
What I love about the coach on the sideline right there, what I love about your coach talking to you like that is he says, he gives you a compliment of how well you're doing, and then he says, I'm going to get you in the best position. So now he tells you not only, he tells you what you're going to do, but how he's going to do it. And then he gives you that little bit of empathy and, hey, I love you, let's just keep going and play hard. He hits all the elements of how to inspire a kid to get going.
Smith trying to stretch it out to the right. Nice wrap-up tackle there by Raymond Davison, one of the veterans on the Bears defense.
Just not quite enough to stop getting that first down, and they'll move those chains and run that clock a little bit. While they're not worried about the clock just yet, you got to worry about the emotion of your team. Can you make the stop? Can you stop? Can we get a better field position out of you?
Smith punching it straight ahead. Well, this is where, if you're on the Weber State side, now you can run 3 plays in a row like that, Glenn. They're pushing Cal back.
That's just grinded out, hard-nosed football, saying, hey, offensive line, we're going to give you angles. We're going to work to get the defenders to move a little bit with our motion. You just trust what we've told you to do, and we'll be fine. They get 7 yards on first down. That is a great game.
15 first downs in the game for Weber State. So it hasn't just been the big pass plays. Now coming out of an I set. And there's another run, and that's another first down. talking to the Weber State coaches this week, they said, we have a lot of, on offense, will be a lot like Boise State was the comparison they used in the different use of personnel and varied formations.
And this, what I like about this gives every team out there, every fan base hope. They come out and they're running personnel groups, formations, shifts. They're doing all the things possible because they don't have the horses. They know it. They're confusing this defense a little bit right now, and they're winning by getting the angles they need, not unlike what Stanford has been able to do over the years.
And Smith runs it hard to the 45, just across that. Devontae Downs out there on the Cal tackle.
Of course, you see this is just a hard run. Now, he went for the edge, takes a pretty good hard hit, and his helmet comes off in the course of the play. Although I might say it was pulled off, but he has to come out.
Yes, he
all
does.
the same. And they're very methodical so far on this drive. Look for a play action pass soon.
Trayshawn Garrett now in the game as the running back. Oh, nice move inside. Tony Macari had a look at him, and Garrett just slipped on the inside.
That's understanding that you're a sports car and he's a station wagon. He stopped on a dime when there was color in the hole. And that's a great job of understanding that where there was going to be a little bit of room that turned into a lot more.
Well, here's where Weber State has done well today. They're 5 of 8 on third downs, and now they've got the short one.
And we've seen we've seen a lead out of this with the QB as the running back. See if they stick to their MO, running the QB in the third and shorts.
And Garrett, look at that, on 3rd and 1, and he runs it for 9.
3rd and 1, runs it for 9. It's very simple execution. You bring your right guard, big Ty Whitworth. He pulls right through, and so far they have not thrown a pass on this drive. This has been run after run after run. That's why I say they got to go for the play action pass at some time. Try to manipulate and get them into a single high safety look and nail them on a deep route.
The guy that's been doing that is not out there right now, Shaheed. And here's Cal's defense making a play. That's Funchess, Alex Funchess, a junior from Texas. He's playing today. Cameron Saffold, who started that position last week, is out today.
Yeah, Funchess does a nice job. You'll see him come in, big long arm, set the edge. He gets right in the blocker's chest with his arm, sets the edge, keeps that outside hand free, chases it down. That's a great job by Funchess. He's out of Denton, Texas. Cal stole him away from the mean green.
3-yard loss on that play by Funchess. So let's see if Cantwell and Weber State can get out of this 2nd and 13. Vollert to the top. They run a little option, and Cal plays that nicely. Back to the original line of scrimmage. It's Luke Beckett on the Bears tackle. So now 3rd and 10.
Yeah, first down that gives you some loss because Funchess does a great job, and then they stop him here. So now, Weber State, true to form, are they going to look for Vollert on an over? Where are they going to, or a screen? They've done a lot of this, but at 10, Cal doesn't have to bring extra man. They can rush 3 or 4 if they want and be okay.
Shaheed to the very top going against Marleshon Franklin. That's where Cantwell's looking. That's where he's going. And almost, wow. Shaheed thought he was going to get it. Luke Rubinser came in there in the last minute to help break it up.
Yeah, and Shaheed wanted a flag. He thought he got grabbed a little. There's nothing there. I love this throw. It was done perfectly. Unfortunately, it was thrown right into the sun. And Shaheed is looking straight back into the sun to catch this ball. But this ball is perfectly placed. And this is where he wants the penalty because he felt like his arm got grabbed. There's not enough there. They're hand fighting. That ball is perfectly placed. That's just good football, both sides. Good no call.
And so Weber State forced to punt. And Wharton will fair catch this ball just outside the Cal 5. So the field position game continues to go to Weber State. And the lead continues with Weber State. Weber State in the middle Their quarterback, Cantwell, who's thrown for 292 yards today and a touchdown, has rushed for 1. And here he is coming into Memorial Stadium in Berkeley, and Weber State has the lead. Late third quarter, Ross Bowers going to have just over a quarter to see if he can. Not going to get to last week's numbers in all likelihood, but can he generate enough offense to get Cal a win here?
Well, they're going to have to let him out of his handcuffs here pretty soon and let him make some plays and let him throw the ball downfield. They really haven't tried much down the field.
And here's a first down run. So again, Cal has not had a consistent run game today. Patrick Laird had a 51-yard touchdown run. Demetrius Robertson, receiver, 34-yard reverse run in the first quarter. So 2 big run plays, but consistent run has not been.
No, and Trey Watson getting banged up or nicked, that's affected them somewhat.
Watson has not played the second half. Look at this. That little flip shovel, that's Malik McMorris, the astoundingly agile, athletic player given that bodies.
And 5'11", 295 pounds.
I mean, when was the last time you saw a 5'11", 290 catch a shovel pass like that?
He is something else. You watch him on film, he'll block, he'll make plays all over. He can catch the ball.
And good job there by Weber State to keep that from being a first down.
Yeah, got up and under him, knocked him down, and lived to fight for third down.
So Cal needs a yard. Bowers on a boot. Bowers is going to get hit from behind, hit hard, and hit wrong, it appears. And that flag comes flying in.
Yeah, it appears that he grabbed the face mask or the head with his arm. We know how they treat anything to the head.
Personal
anymore.
foul, face mask, 24 defense. A foul's enforced into the run, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Face mask, Jordan Prater. You know, we'll get a replay. Malin on the ground.
Ooh.
Yeah, he hits the side. That's hard. Any part of the helmet they're going to call. It looks actually like he got him under the cheek pad, not the face mask. But you got to call it.
Yeah, look at the helmet get wrenched on Bowers' head. Bowers took a helmet-to-helmet hit last week in North Carolina. A targeting call that ejected the North Carolina player, and Bowers on the very next play threw a touchdown pass. Well, let's see. Does he do it again? No, saving tackle. Demetrius Robertson had it in his eyes, and Taron Johnson saved it for Weber State.
They got what they wanted. They got Demetrius Robertson on the outside to the field, and a lot of space between him, the DB laying off, and the safety in the middle of the field. That gave him room for that slant.
It's only the third catch for Robertson today, but a big play. Now going for another one. And Robertson trying to turn to the outside. Ball falls. Running against the coverage of Zakiel Harry.
Bowers missed that pass, needed it out in front, put it behind him. That's just repetition, and he hasn't been allowed to throw a lot today. He finally gets out, hits Robertson one time, tries to go back to him. I think you're going to have to they got to start making some plays and letting him run a little bit here. Let him out the barn, let him throw some deep balls, open up this playbook a little bit, get some things going.
Previous pass was 33 yards to Robertson, by far the longest play he's had so far this year.
They're going to get Valentin Daltosa, the right guard, moved.
False start. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty replay. Second down.
Just trying to get going early. Hey, we're the least athletic guys on the field. Give us a break. Let us move a little early.
Daltosa followed his coach. He was at Oregon. Started at Oregon as a freshman, and Steve Greatwood in the coaching change at Oregon. Steve Greatwood came here. Daltosa came here.
Speaks volumes of what players think of their coach when they're willing to do that.
So now 2nd and 15 for Cal in the final minute of the third. And that's a good throw. Well done to Jordan Vesey. The timing he talked about earlier in this quarter there was perfect.
It was perfect. He wasn't out of his break yet when this ball is thrown. The ball is in midair. This is old Ernie Zampisi style, that offensive coordinator of the Cowboys back in the day. You throw it before the break, he turns, he has to find the ball in the air, and he does a great job, VC does, of finding it, catching it, bringing it down.
And that leaves Cal a short 3rd down. And then Weary will, I don't know. He may not have gotten it. He tried to slide out to the left, and he may not have made it.
I think he's about a half a yard short from the look of it. Maybe even less. They're going to have to measure this, I think. And
the good news for Cal is they're going to have the quarter break here to decide if it is short. They'll see how much and be able to fully determine what they want on 4th down, if that indeed is the case. I believe it's going to be. Well, there was no scoring in the 3rd quarter. And interesting decision awaits Justin Wilcox left and Bo Baldwin right. With a quarter to go in the home opener at Berkeley. Well, Cal came out firing today. Took the opening kick, drove right down the field in 6 plays, scored a touchdown. But Weber State took that shot, came right back. And here we go to the 4th quarter with the lead, and California facing a very short 4th down. Vic and Weary the big back. McMorris offset left. You've got to think they want to run behind the 280-pounder there.
You would think so. Or just a sneak.
And Bowers, no, they try to run the middle, and Weary got just enough. Just enough to keep the drive going for California.
Well, he's their big back at 245 pounds. They give him a chance. He goes between the block of the left tackle and left guard. They set themselves up. Another set of downs. Cal, nice drive here so far.
Last time the Bears got deep, they got down inside the 10 at the end of the 1st half and fumbled. A strip sack of Bowers. And that's just off the tips of the fingers of Jordan Vesey.
Again, they're in that corner where Weber State had the same problem. You're throwing, the sun is directly in your eyes in that corner. Look at the way the shadows are falling. They're falling almost in a line to that corner. This is very tough on a ball with air under it for a receiver to be able to look into that sky and find it.
Well, tendencies are there, and even in North Carolina last week, Bowers threw the vast majority of his passes to the left, offensive left, outside the hash marks. Whoa. Good recovery there by Bowers, but that's a good loss of yardage.
And that is the type of thing that, as a head coach, as a coordinator, drive you crazy. As an offensive line coach, you're sitting there, hey, we took our shot, 2nd and 10, let's get 5. That counts as the 11th tackle for loss for Weber State so far in this game. That's unheard of for that many, an FCS team against you like this.
So the Bears need 15. Try to come inside with Wharton. Now they get some, which will give them a much better shot here at a game-tying field goal.
That little tunnel screen, well defended by Weber State, but you're right, enough yards to make a makeable field goal for Cal here.
So Matt Anderson, a left-footed kicker, will hit this from the left hash. Spot on 40 yards. Punter Dylan Klump is the holder. And Anderson drives that through with no problem. So Cal ties the game in the first 2 minutes of the 4th quarter. Didn't think we'd be saying that. Television partners, so you've got a lot of options.
That you do.
Multi-screen viewing. There's the short far side kickoff that, wow, hit and stayed in bounds. Another crazy bounce of a ball picked up by an up back for Weber State, who get it out just about to the 20-yard line. Let's get a studio update now from Ashley Adamson. You saw that was May of Weber State that kind of limped off the field. He picked up that kick when it didn't go out of bounds. So Weber State starts from its 19-yard line. Cantwell wrapped up. Didn't get away from Garen Brown, sophomore linebacker for Cal.
Brown did a nice job at sniffing that out, taking the quickest path. made himself through that gap to grab that, to make that tackle. And we've seen Cantwell shrug off those tackles before. Didn't do it that time.
Trayshawn Garrett is in as the back. 2 wide receivers to the top. 2 tight ends in the game, and Cantwell's keeper once again dropped. That's Luke Beckett. So 2 attempts for Cantwell to run, and Cal smothers them.
Yeah, this time almost the same design as the last play, but they do it out of 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends, and Cal's ready for it. So Cal's made some adjustments here. There was a long drive by Weber State the last time. So far, they put themselves behind the 8 ball early right here.
And now forces Weber State to 3rd and 8. Bollard tight end to the top. That's where Cantwell's looking. That's where he's got him. And the ball stripped. Cal got it free. But the wild scramble, Cal thought they had it. Did they secure it? Yes.
Raymond Davidson in coverage doesn't stop this ball from being completed, but doesn't give up on the play. Does a great job of stripping the ball.
And Luke Rubinser came out with it.
Just again, this California defense making plays when they have to.
What a nice throw. And you can see again pretty much where Cantwell was going to go.
He knew where he wanted. Yeah. You'll see. There he comes in. Great job right there. Arm down. Raymond Davidson hits it, knocks it out. And Cal, that's 3 forced fumbles today.
And now the Bears offense needs to take advantage. And it's Laird. Still Laird. Down near the 25. Trey Watson has not played the second half. Patrick Laird getting more run and taking advantage. And Laird trying to come to the right side here. Broke tackles behind the line. And there's a good run. That was a minus play that Laird turned into a gain.
And would you like to discuss now how big faking the field goal was? You'd be up 3 right now if you hadn't faked the field goal. Your defense be in a little different position.
That's a terrific run by Patrick Laird. Earns him a breather. That had all the earmarks of a -1 or 2, and it became a +4.
This momentum has shifted so fast, and Cal making the most of it.
Robertson back alongside. That's where Bowers is looking. They've got Robertson covered. He ran a wheel route, but now it's in Weary just through his hands.
Just a little too much, and Weary is not the tallest guy. He gets it a little high for the 6-footer. He can't quite get up to it.
Now Bowers was looking for Robertson on a wheel route down the far side, but he came back and had a guy.
He had a guy, but the hard part when you're running to your right as a quarterback is overthrowing, because the momentum takes you that way. Your golf swing, so to speak, takes you that way, and it's hard. You got to take a little off.
And Weber State's man, their best cover man, Taron Johnson, did a good job. He took that wheel route away from Robertson.
First time out of the second half.
And instead now facing a big 3rd down play. We get a defense timeout called by Weber State. All right, so both sides pause before a significant 4th quarter play.
Everybody uses the Wildcat. I'm not sure I'm a fan. I think it limits you too much. It really does. There's the need for it, I'm sure. I just haven't found it anymore. I think at one time, not so sure anymore.
Laird running to the 2. And he'll be marked down at the 1.
And Trey Hawson is going to wake up on the plane ride home from that hit. I mean, that was a shot he just done. He's going to wake up thinking about getting hit. Laird hits him, not the other way around.
Laird bouncing. Look at Laird into the end zone. And Cal has the lead.
A great drive by Cal. They get the short field. They move down. Laird has 9 carries for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns so far today. He is, I just like the way they methodically move the ball down the field. They let Bowers throw. They let him do some things outside of what they've been attempting today. Opened up their playbook a little bit, and it paid off for them.
Now Matt Anderson kicks the point through, and Cal, opportunity may find them a big running back, the way Patrick Laird has bounced off hits even here on this touchdown run. Stop, nope. 6 points in the lead for the Bears. Pac-12 football presented by Opus Bank. Cal is hoping now it can control the rest of this game. They have the ball. Can they run it out? Weber State is hoping Stephen Cantwell wants one more chance.
You know he does, because there will be no, hey, we did okay, we showed up. They came here to win. They had the opportunity to win. They've had too many turnovers, too many missed opportunities where they should be in the driver's seat right now, and they're not.
Now there's timeouts left, but here's Laird. Well, Laird is writing some story for himself today. Again, from San Luis Obispo, diverse guy. And he was on this team last year, but he didn't play a lot. They had 3 running backs ahead of him. 1 left, Muhammad, Khalfani Muhammad. Laird elevates, and now with Watson out, Laird's getting the bulk of the second half action.
He's getting his carries, and he's showing the speed that we were told he had out there. It didn't show up. It's not evident until you get him in some space.
See those little bars above Weber State. They have 2 timeouts remaining. And they're going to use one right here after the first down play is stopped.
Timeout, Weber State, second of the game, second half, 30-second timeout.
Now California play.
And who knows, maybe get another one. 2 minutes to go. It's a 7-point game. Might have another one of those crazy finishes ahead.
And the whole change that Cal hopes Justin Wilcox ignites here is just to bring back some defense, to restore balance in essence. You don't want to lose offense, obviously.
Right.
Just have some balance. And the defense creating turnovers today.
It's funny, fans are
Oh, look at Laird. Oh, Laird's gone. He got the corner, and he is gone to put this one away for Cal.
Just said he didn't look all that fast till you see him get the edge. Give some space. You're not going to catch him.
A 51 and a 73. And this one puts what has been a nerve-wracking day into the calm category on the Cal sideline. That's a messed up snap and kick that's blocked, and thankfully thankfully they covered the man. McKay Murphy picked it up for Weber State. But Patrick Laird, you talk about making the most. 12 carries, 191 yards.
And here it is. Gets himself outside. One dip to the inside, and he is gone.
And that's what Justin Wilcox was talking to us about yesterday, right there. Right?
That's right.
That's what he could do.
That's right. Outside, get him the ball, and he's gone. What we saw also, though, that maybe even the Cal coaches didn't know until it just played out, is inside, if he breaks a tackle once or twice, he can be gone as well.
A feeling, if you're a Cal fan, Pac-12 football fan, from another school, you're going to see Patrick Laird this year and if your school plays Cal, if you're a Cal fan, you'll see him 10 more weeks.
Yeah, I think
that's the guy that said, play me.
Yep.
Play me.
Pac-12 teams are going to get a heavy dose of him and Nweri and Watson. They'll find a place. If you can play, they're going to find a place on the field for you. They will.
Shaheed fields this from the goal line for Weber State. And is hit shy of the 20, gets right to there. Well, inches that separate. That 4th down pass by Cantwell just beyond Vollard's reach that would have tied the game. Instead, Cal comes back to set up what they have ahead. And look at the next I mean, talk about it's just tough all the way. Ole Miss here, coming off a good year, and then USC at Oregon, at Washington. Hello.
Yeah, very tough. And then Washington State, of course, prolific. Let's not forget those Wildcats, because you just never know.
And finishing up end of the year, that tough double going at Stanford for big game, and then at UCLA on Thanksgiving Friday. Cantwell here to Daryl Denby. Weber State will be will be coming back to Northern California. They'll be at Sac State next Saturday. Nice throw there to Shaheed. And I would say this guy, Shaheed, is showing the Big Sky people. They're going to see a lot of him this year.
Yeah, he's
clear big play guy.
He's a true freshman, speedster. You know, a little undersized, but somehow fell through the cracks. So here's a kid that can obviously play.
Ooh, well, that one he'd like to think he would have had.
You would like to.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's that little test and stepping up into Division I football, right? Catch that ball in tight when you know you're going to get popped.
Every time. Got it. And there's the old saying, you're going to get hit anyways, might as well catch it.
Nice. Shaheed has 4 catches for 149 and a touchdown. Cantwell has thrown for 381. Run for 61. Ooh, missed Vollard on that over the middle. So 3rd down coming for Weber State. Cal has some guys on this defense. One of the things we talked a lot with Justin Wilcox and Tim DeRuyter yesterday. They've got a lot of guys here. Davison, you just saw, is one of them. Looney, Macari up front. Guys who've been here a long time. They've been beaten down a lot. There's a nice throw to Vollard. That'll be a 1st down to keep him for Weber State.
They've got guys on both sides of the ball that have been beaten down. Their offensive line beaten down in some ways. Defense, as you said, they hadn't played great defense. So a lot of those older guys have to get their confidence back.
Well, there's a miss, and Weber State's going to be down to the 5-yard line, saving a touchdown, which would add way too much drama to this in the final minute for Cal. Taiwan Prince.
Credit Cantwell. He looked out and saw no one was covering him. No one was on him and found him.
Cal lost him, and now Cal wants
timeout. California.
Yeah, Cal
second
said,
team charge timeout in the second half. 30-second timeout.
Hey, take a look. He's by himself out there.
Yep,
no one lines up to him. It's just a mistake on defense. A huge mistake. One that hopefully won't cost you the game and you can learn from.
We used to hear this a lot, Glenn, from defensive coaches in this conference. That was the Oregon formula right there. How many times would we hear say, once a game, we just can't, they run so quickly we can't line up right.
That's right.
They end up with a 3-on-2 or 2-on-1, and they would score at that point.
That's right, and that's the whole, the genesis of the no huddle. If you even go back to when the Buffalo Bills and prior to them, the Cincinnati Bengals,
you were there, yeah.
Line up fast in the same personnel, just to change the way you line up. Eventually, they'll mistake how they line up or put in the wrong personnel, and you'll be able to burn it.
Well, Weber State hoping for a quick score here, and then, of course, the onside. And Cantwell, didn't get Vollard over the middle. Vollard, the Bay Area product, 7 catches for 84 yards today. It's still 44 seconds. If Weber State puts this ball in quickly, they have enough time to believe if they can execute the onside kick.
Yeah, you know, enough time to execute the onside kick and a couple of plays down the field before you have to take a shot at the end zone.
Vollard, tight end, is up top. He's going to the top corner, and that one thrown when that was almost picked. Franklin of Cal looked like he was going to intercept it.
Cantwell waited a step too long to throw this ball. You have to throw it before the break. It has to be there before he makes that stop and cut. He waited, and it allowed the defender, as you said, Franklin, to get in there and make a play on the ball and knock it loose.
So 3rd and goal. Vollard now is in the left slot. And that's where he's looking again, and that one, oh, Evan Weaver had it and couldn't hang on. Drew Batchelor was also in that position as a receiver for Weaver.
So they ran a whip route with the end, and that, so one of those two had a mistake, because even though they weren't both there, they were both there for a moment when Cantwell threw. Vollert did a whip route. He went out or a jerk route, a little bit out, come back over.
All right, last play here for Weaver. Vollert's now the middleman to the bottom, and Cantwell misses him. So frustration on the end for Weber State, twice getting shots at the Cal end zone here in the closing minutes. Unable to cash in, and now Cal will have to snap the ball twice in theory to end this.
Well, credit Cal being mature enough not to panic, not to worry, not to get down on themselves when they're down at half to an FCS team. Credit the coaches for keeping them in it and then coming back and consistently making plays and the adjustments they needed in order to win this thing. And, you know, let's say in the last 8 to 10 minutes, take over the game. And that's what they did.
Jay Hill would have a timeout to use, but apparently not going to do it. So Cal will not have to snap the ball a second time. And the Golden Bears will get to 2-0. Very uncertain path today. And credit Weber State for making it so.
Now they came in here to win this game. They didn't come in to just play well. I know that they're upset. And they should be, because they had all the chances to win it and just didn't execute when they had to. A couple of fumbles, a couple of passes missed. They'd have won this thing.
You know, Justin Wilcox was saying that to Jay Hill right there. And this game, you talk about a game where the final score doesn't reflect the game. Here it is. But Cal takes it. 2-0. We're back to Berkeley in a moment. Well, California Golden Bears being cheered off the field at Memorial Stadium from their home opener in 2017. Ross Bauer's first home game as the starting quarterback. And the Bears win it 33-20 with large credit to the defense creating takeaways and to a running back who exploded today, Patrick Laird.
Nice job by Cal finding guys to get plays done, opening their offense when they had to a little bit. Love that. Defense, they never gave up on a play. Every turnover was a forced turnover. It wasn't just a bobble. It wasn't a bad throw. It was a forced turnover. Credit Cal. That's huge.
All right, let us take a look at the highlights of the game. California took the opening kickoff. And they went right down the field. They came out with intent, 66 yards on the 6th play. The reverse handoff to Demetrius Robertson.
Yep, they had showed a lot of confidence in that opening drive. But hey, credit Weber State coming back and Cantwell, the quarterback, making plays. But it was all about this guy today, really.
Yeah. Cantwell's run gave Weber State a 10-7 lead. Laird came back, second quarter, 51 yards to put Cal up. So this is a beautiful play. Cantwell to Rashid Shaheed to tie the game.
Yeah, great job with Cantwell manipulating safeties. That happened throughout the first half. Second half, a little different story. A fake field goal, one both you and I questioned at the time, did turn out to hurt him.
Weber State took the lead into the 4th quarter, but then Cal broke it. Patrick Laird with 9:37 to go, giving Cal the lead. And then after a 4th down throw to the end zone, it just missed for Weber State. Laird broke it away with this 73-yard run.
Yeah, Laird showed up today not only breaking tackles, running sometimes off tackle, but a lot of times outside, a lot of space, showed all that speed.
So there are your highlight numbers of the day. Cantwell did a lot. 43 throws, 20 runs. Almost 500 yards of total offense.
A complete weapon. Rashid Shaheed showed why he is going to be such a weapon to the Big Sky this year. But on the other side, Ross Bowers kept his poise, 200 passing yards. Patrick Laird, 12 rushes, 191 yards. And the big ones that really kind of helped not only keep Cal in the game, but then salted away at the end.
So California goes to 2-0. They'll have Ole Miss here in a kind of an unusual matchup. Don't see that, but that'll be next Saturday, a night game at Memorial Stadium. But today, Justin Wilcox's home debut. The Bears get pushed. They get pushed to the end by Weber State, but the Bears prevail 33-20. We thank our entire crew. We thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon with Glenn Parker, Ted Robinson saying so long from Berkeley.